Well, new tonight, the McCreary County Superintendent Michael Cash has resigned after a heated school board meeting. The school board's attorney says he was suspended for a video that showed him engaging in inappropriate behavior. Dozens of angry parents packed tonight's school board meeting.
Yeah, they were petitioning the school board to fire Superintendent Michael Cash, and Cash was suspended for 30 school days without pay at the beginning of February. The attorney says each school board member has mailed an inappropriate video of Cash and another adult who they won't name. The school board says that video was taken by a hidden camera that was planted in the school. Tonight,
the school board accepted Cash's resignation. He's also waived his tenure in the state of Kentucky and cannot come back as a teacher in McCreary County. Parents are still upset that Cash could be hired by another district. They also want action taken against the other person in the video.
No further action will be taken against him since he's resigned his employment completely, both as superintendent and as a teacher. And upon execution of this agreement, the board will terminate the investigation of Mr. Cash.
Now, parents are still upset that Cash could be hired by another district, and they also, again, want action taken against the other person in the video.
The school board says both the people in the video will go before the standards board, and Cash's resignation is official once he's been granted disability leave or on June 30th of the year, whichever one comes first.